Okay, series circuits. Right, how do we measure a current and voltage? Well, you always put the voltmeter in parallel with the lamp. It's because it must measure the voltage before going into the lamp and the voltage afterwards. It's actually making a difference. It's measuring the difference between it going in and going after. It's finding out what energy has been dropped off at the lamp. And the way it does that is by looking at the amount of energy in the electrons before it goes in and measuring the amount of energy in the electrons after it leaves it, and then making a quick calculation to say this how much has been dropped off here. The ammeter is basically counting how many electrons are going through, so that is placed in series. So ammeters in series, voltmeters in parallel. A series circuit has got a single loop. All the electrons must follow the same path. They've got no choice. They visit each component one at a time. In this case, the electrons will be going clockwise around from the battery at the top there. The smaller of those lines there at the top, you can see there's a battery. The smaller of those lines is the negative end. The longer line is the positive end. And so it goes in a clockwise direction, goes through an ammeter, then a lamp, then an ammeter, then a lamp, then an ammeter, then back to the battery. The other thing to know about a series circuit is because all the electrons have to go in one single loop, if you break any aspect of that loop, it stops the circuit altogether. So if a bulb blows in this circuit, they all go out. Here's the general rules about series circuits. You have the same value of current throughout the entire circuit. So it says 2 amps there in each of those positions because you cannot create electrons, you cannot destroy electrons, you can't lose them, so whatever goes in at one end must come out at the other end. So in a series circuit the current is the same throughout. With regards to voltage or potential difference, you look at the total voltage picked up the battery, in this case 6 volts, and that must be dropped off around the circuit. So in this case you can see it's 3 volts, 1 volt and 2 volts. If you add them all together you end up with 6 volts. So there's a little formula here which is VT, or the total voltage is V1 plus V2 plus V3, etc. Okay, and the other rule about series circuits is you must know as to how it behaves in terms of resistance. So I have got 3 resistors here in series, a 2 ohm, a 4 ohm and a 3 ohm resistor, and what you do is you add those up and that gives you a total resistance of 9 ohms. Keywords to know, which you must know what we mean by a series circuit: components, which are basically components in a single loop. The word current, that is the rate of flow of charge. Voltage is basically energy divided by charge. Potential difference is a word for voltage. Again, it's energy divided by charge. A voltmeter measures potential difference. An ammeter measures the current. And resistance is a measure of how difficult it is for the electricity to get through. Resistance is measured in ohms. And that is, or are, series circuits.